Dekimashita. Hi, hi. Yoroshiku minasan. Welcome back. We are doing a culinary stream. What? It's been a minute. It's been a fat minute. But you know what? I think we're in a good spot. I think we're finally looking chill right here. So I'm excited to be able to share something like this. And I hope you guys are looking forward to certain little angles. There you go. You got some background music. It's okay. It's not copyrighted, I promise. And then we have a cool stuff coming through. So again, one more time. Yoroshiku minasan. Welcome back. We are gonna make this happen. We're gonna do something a little bit simpler. I don't think it's that intense, but I do think it's gonna be delicious. Yeah, we had a nice friend give us a little suggestion about what we should be making today, and on Twitter we had our good friend. Gigi, at Gigi Pugh from Twitter, who brought this up and was like, you know what, Korean street dogs are a thing, which I had never known about, but you know, if I hear about it, I gotta, and if it's delicious, hi Gigi, we're just talking about you. Yeah, and if it's delicious, I gotta try it out. So here we are today trying to make this happen and having a great time. Thank you for joining us, Gigi. It's a pleasure to have you aboard. And yeah, so I'm very excited because, you know, we got a couple things going around. We got multiple angles. I do finally feel like the production levels are where I would feel it's good to be. So I'm excited to see where we go from here and how well we can make this work. So everything is a work in progress, and we're trying to make it come through. But definitely looking forward to what this will become and how far we can take it. Definitely, just like our good friend. Thank you very much. Like our good friend has recommended, I would honestly suggest following me on Twitter. And then if there's any interesting little food that you guys want to see or that we can try out together, that'd be a great way to kind of share the ideas and share the love and letting us know what is out there that, you know, we can try it out. So anything is possible, and we're here to make it happen. But first, it is a Sunday morning. It's a nice little chill afternoon. We're gonna start these streams the best way that we can, and that's with washing our hands, because you gotta be healthy after this week. So definitely, like I said, Korean corn dogs are basically just corn dogs, right? I've been Googling them. I've been researching a bit of a couple things. And they're kind of like, their big niche is that they like to add cheese with their dogs. And they have a bit of sugariness inside of them. So what happens with that is we're going to try to make some batter. We're going to, maybe, there's a recipe in my head. I feel like the ratios are there. You just have to kind of follow through. And there's going to be a little bit different things, you know. So the normal recipe for Koreans that I was looking at is they call for panko. You get the flour, you make the little batter, you dip the dog in there, and then you start rolling it inside panko, so that way you can get that nice crispy crust on the outside. However, me being the glutton that I am, I'm not completely convinced that we should just stop at panko. So I have a couple ideas of how we can season up the breadcrumbs, and I have a couple of different variations of what we can use instead of said panko. And we're just gonna experiment with it, see if we can find something different, something new, and just go with that. But definitely very fun. Niva, welcome to the chat. Not aligned correctly. Yeah, and unfortunately it's a little bit off angled, but you're gonna have to bear with me because A, I'm a big fan of angles with cameras, and B, if I touch it right now, I think it would just fall off. So I don't want to create too much of a panic in here. But yes, you should get a mobile microphone. Is that like a mobile, like a connection to come to the like a clip-on connection? Yes, I think we used to use those way back then. We had a couple of those. Where's the dog? Teddy and Yuki are running around somewhere, so they should be hanging out. Super excited. Can't wait to see how we make them. Yeah, I mean, or do you guys have any, in terms of like ideas of culinary like experience in terms of like trying to make things happen? Like, so fairly simple again. I don't think it's gonna be too intense. The hardest part is gonna be making that batter and trying to figure out if we can get that coating to really, like a good consistency to get that coating to drip on it and then stay there, so that way we can get that panko to really stick on it. That's gonna be all of a quick motion, and you have to be really quick with it, and you just have to make it happen. So you got 2 wieners. Those are turkeys. I have some beef because beef is awesome. And we're gonna try to combine the mozzarella with the turkeys and the beef with the Kobe cheese, which is just gonna be more of a, like the Kobe cheese is more saltier, so I do like that with the beefy flavor, and the mozzarella cheese will go well with my little secret weapon that I have planned later in this stream. So yes, our wieners ready to go. These guys are important. Those 2. We have our little toothpicks because you got to use these guys for this process. It's gonna be like that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll do in half. We'll do 1 full, 1 of each full. We'll do 2 split, so we can go straight down the middle, right? Like that. Get them organized. And then we're gonna have to get the cheeses cut to about the same sizes. So if we want to go for like same width, thankfully this is about there. I'm gonna go ahead and like let it happen. So let's go here, here, and let's do 4, like that, just in case. Beautiful. Get this guy to the side. I was thinking of doing a couple of just cheesy pieces. That is gonna end up being like a mozzarella stick, which I'm a fan of mozzarella, so I ain't tripping. But something like that is what they're looking for. This guy's right here, and let's get some of that mozzarella as well. Going for about the same length. I think we can get this guy like here. So we'll go these guys to the side. I'm gonna go one like this. Go. The recipe mentioned to use like a low moisture cheese, mozzarella or any type of cheese that doesn't have too much moisture in it, and that's a good idea because it's gonna prevent the oil from like really spilling and like popping and all that stuff. You're gonna have a much less hard of a time. My biggest challenge right now is gonna try to be having the cheese not melt out of the panko crust, and to achieve that level I'm just gonna have to really make sure that I'm squeezing that panko and getting it all together. So just try to do about the same sizes and go 1 and 2. I hear my dog. He's coming around. We'll see if he wants to show up later today. But yeah, so about there. I think I'll give it that A-OK. Alright, so that's 4 dogs right there. That's 4 Korean dogs. You can get this guy. Currently baking cookies yourselves. Ooh, that's really good. Are you cooking your dogs? Ooh, no, of course not. They're family, but no, no, I don't think I could ever do that to the 4 kids. Yeah, they're little babies, man. Dogs are like the treat that the universe has given to us. Man's best friend for a reason, you know. You gotta respect the little pooches. Although all they want to do is walk and eat, which is, it's a dog's life. It'd be nice if that was all life asked of us, right? But yeah, yes, definitely hot dogs. Or if we want to call them Franks, we just call them Franks. You know, I don't take any offense. We'd be cooking Franks all day. So just like that, we have four dogs right there. I'm just trying to get it right through the middle, because again, you just want to make sure you have good stability within these guys, so you can dip them and get them nice and coated. That's gonna be the fun part, trying to get that motion quickly and trying to get it nice and organized. So for the meats, we have a turkey base, that's that lighter color, and then for the darker color is a beef hot dog. So it's simple hot dogs. If you really wanted to get extra creative, you could like maybe do andouille sausage, which is like a spicy grounded sausage pork type of deal, or even an Italian sausage would be really cool. I think you could get away with that, but you have to take into account that those are more of a rare product, like in terms of like the meat itself not being fully cooked. So what I would recommend with that is maybe heating them up beforehand, or maybe like tossing them into an air fryer. I have an air fryer that I love using, or even like in a microwave, just to get that initial temperature a little bit higher than just like fully cold, because again, you have to assume that the cheese is gonna just melt right away. And if you have like a raw product, then maybe you won't be able to cook that meat thoroughly before the cheese itself starts breaking apart and all that. So you kind of have to just like think about that before you start doing this, yeah. But I got 4 right there. I'm gonna do a full regular hot dog just to like try to get that consistency, see what we're trying to go for. So one turkey dog right there. And then I will have, so I have this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and I will do one more. I actually do have one more little secret hidden up my sleeve. See how far we can get this guy. So we'll do one beef and then one more turkey, and that should be about 8, right? 8 pieces of the dogs. Let's go ahead and cut these guys in half. So yeah, again, shout out to Gigi Pugh, because honestly, like, I've known about Korean foods per se, but it's like I keep on trying to call it a street dog. I just have the connotation that this type of food, you can go out to the street and just like fry them up and be like, bam, here's your street dog. It's like a quick, nice, one of those, what do you call them? Like an appetizer, like a really good focused appetizer. So it's fun. Kind of means that we do not have hot dogs here, only sausage. May I ask where you are? You delicious, right? Hey man, I really want to try those cookies. What type of cookies are you making today? I'm a fan of bakeries. I'm not the best at baking, you know. Like any other recipe, if I read it, I could follow it. But there's certain bakers out there that just really have that little niche of like, no, put more liquid in there because you want it to be super moist, and then that's super awesome. Like I love when you just know your stuff. It's nice to know that. But yeah, Nival, if we can, sausages, is that like a different northern or different region that they don't use the word hot dog per se? Because I totally respect that. Definitely, sausages makes more sense in my opinion as well. But as an American, hot dogs is like hot dog on a bun. You just grew up with that, right? Or we did. So I'm gonna put these guys to the side. Them right here. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got one cheese in here. Let's keep on going with the little ratio right there. One more just for fun. And maybe we can get away with this. I don't know. This is like look about right. So I have cheeses ready to go for the next round. And then 2 more. 3 more. 8. 9 all day. So let's see if we make this work out. Something that you have to keep in mind too is that the oil that you're using is gonna slowly start burning. So you don't wanna drop too much excess flour in it per se. I really will need to get that sweet spot of trying not to over bread it, so like the flour um, just stays in the pan burnt, but also enough for it to really cover that hot dog and make it happen. But that's gonna be the fun part. It's gonna be like the learning curve, if you will. Everything I cook will end up burnt. Oh no! Even cereal? Can you use butter instead of oil? Yes. Yes, but if you're using like a milk-based dairy butter, they start burning a bit faster. The milk in there starts kind of evaporating and burning the oil itself. So you can use that. Oil is expensive right now. Oof. Joking, but serious question. You could probably use butter, but it's for something like that, I'd recommend going like 50-50, 50 butter, 50 oil. So that way the oil will prevent the butter from burning too quickly. So, but butter is a nice little hint because, you know, the milky flavor in that butter, especially combined with the panko, will give it a nice creamy flavor to that. So that's I would recommend that. That's a good idea right there. Okay, so we have these guys ready to go. I'm just gonna go ahead and put them off to the side for now. 1, 2, 1, 2. Maybe I'll just put them in the fridge for now to try and cool down, hold this consistency, and I will start working on the batter, which is gonna be the fun part. Okay, so I had a little bit ready to go. Make a little bit more. We're gonna do. I could do measurements if you guys want. If you guys really want the measurements, I'm more of an eyeballer. Like I can kind of, if the recipe asks for a cup and a quarter, I can eyeball that to an extent. But for the sake of trying to be organized and showing it, I'm gonna really go with the measure cups. Yosh. So yes, we have. What is this? 1 cup? Half cup. This is 2/3 of a cup. I can do math. Yeah, and then 2 of these will be 1.5. So I'll be a little bit less than that. So let's do 2.5 of these guys. Yeah, 2/3, and then the 1/3 will make it 1/5. They recommended on the flour. You can use an all-purpose flour. That's just like a general flour. What we're doing with this is we're making the breading or the coating of flour, which is, again, you can do all-purpose. For the sake of this one, because it is a corn, I'm going to use maicena, which is corn flour. This is the things that we use for like tamales and stuff. We make tamales out of this. Oh, this guy right here. But yeah, definitely. It will give it more of that corn doggy taste. You know, when they refer to corn dog, it is that corn flour breading. So I really wanted to go with that flavor in mind. So with that in mind, we'll do the same amount, and we will go from there. Right. If I was being really, really creative, I think you could even use the flour mixed with some cerveza, and then you would have like a beer battered breading, which would give it a nice that poppy, nice sharp taste to it. The beer provides like more of a, the beer provides yeast, so it will make it fluffier. The breading itself will become fluffier, but it also gives it that sharpish taste of alcohol, yeast, fermented wheat, and all that. I'm not gonna do that right now, just because A, I'm drinking it, and B, let's just keep it a little bit simpler. But that is an opinion. There's just so many things you can do with culinary. So that's what, in my opinion, it's like, I love being able to just, all right, you could do this. Well, hold up a little minute. What if we did this? Only when it comes to baking is when I'm more exact with my measurements. Yes, 100%. Usually regular cooking, well, I just eyeball it as well. Yeah, of course. And I think that's why I'm more of a culinary person than a baker, because, you know, I like to bend the rules a little bit and get creative with my culinary. But baking is very, very important. I respect the crap out of baking because it is like a science project. You have to get the right numbers to get that right amount of fluffiness, moisture, and like all the other um, parts that makes that bread what it becomes at the end, or the cookie. Delicious cookies. The possibilities are endless. 100%. It is my favorite movie, of course, Ratatouille. The quote being from Gusteau being, "Anybody can cook. What I say is true. You can throw an egg on a pan and you can be like, boom, that's a scrambled egg. Add a little bit of salt, scrambled egg. Anybody can cook, but only the fearless can create, and that's just going outside of the box, thinking outside of the box, and whatever you feel like the flavors that you're going for, you can just bring that to your product. You just got to make sure that you don't mix things that won't work well and that will upset your stomach or something. That's you got to watch out for those red flags. But honestly, yeah, it's very open to interpretation, and I think that's why I really loved culinary growing up and followed this as a career and pursued it as like my first love, basically my first love of culinary. It's very, very good stuff. OMG, same here. Yeah, man. This is gonna be a quick second. If you haven't seen Everything Everywhere All at Once, ooh, they make a Ratatouille reference, and ooh, they even had Randy Newman, the guy who sings "You Got a Friend in Me" from Toy Story. The guy goes like, "You got a friend in me." They had him voice act the Ratatouille reference. So very, very good. So again, 2/3 of flour, right? And then we're adding like half of that. That would be a whole cup. That's gonna be 1 cup right there. The recipe called for like a cup and a quarter, but I'm gonna use a secret weapon. Yes, we have baking soda that they want, and again, that's gonna add more of a levity to the crust itself, give it more of a crispiness. And I'm gonna use cornstarch, which is another ingredient that will really give that fryiness a nice crisp feeling, and it will puff up the pastry itself. So I'm not gonna try to go too crazy with this guy because it could mess it up per se, but let's try to add a little bit of that. So let's go with this guy. And right, quite a while. It's scallion noodles. Ooh. I had what flavor were they? I had like a like steak noodles? No. It was like a Vietnamese thing yesterday. It was really, really good. Righty tighty. So flour, let's do 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Again, eyeballing is good, but this is like 1/4. You just have to add a little bit. I'm just gonna put like this, try not to overdo it. There you go. It's about 1/4. Throw that in there. That's your salt. You're gonna add 2 tablespoons of baking powder. Two teaspoons. I apologize. Oh, these are both the same. What the heck? Okay, cool. 2 teaspoons of baking powder. That's this guy right here. It's gonna be about 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Yonka. Right, and sugar bean. 2 tablespoons of sugar. So yes, tablespoons of sugar. I'm gonna be using brown sugar. I feel like brown sugar has more of a with the what are they called? The molasses in the brown sugar, they really will caramelize better than like a white sugar. So I think that's perfect for a coating and for what we're doing with this, since we're deep frying this guy. So we're gonna do 2 tablespoons. That's the big kid. All right, 1 y dos. Oh, I did 2. There you go. It's about that kid right there. We're getting a nice little bundle of flour, or dirt, of a little flour and a solid mixture. We got the flour, we got the sugar, we got the salt, we have baking powder. You're gonna add an egg and then the milk, right? So then the egg is gonna be that binder. That's what's gonna create that coating liquid to go on top of your hot dog itself. And then the milk is gonna be our thinner. That's gonna be our liquidy thinning for this solution. So we don't want to go too hard on the milk, but I'm gonna try to eyeball that perfect level of it, just for it to get creamy enough just to cover the ingredients, but not enough to just completely fall off. Because I really want, especially with like a slimy item like a hot dog and like the cheeses, I really want that flour to really grab onto the item, so that way it will make breading the item a lot easier. And the more coating you have on it, the more breading you're gonna have later on. So that's really, really important to keep an eye on. So yes, let's get this guy out of the way. And baking soda. Okay. Let's give it a good mixture beforehand. Yes. And we'll go from there. Okay. And I put a little bit background real quick, because I miss my songs. There you go. Aight. Looking good, looking good. Let's get down here. And then I'm actually going to start heating up this oil. Oh, wrong. You want to go for about 350 degrees. That's, to me, in this level, it's about all the way down. That heats it to like level 320 degrees. And I'll go like a quarter bit higher to get it at 350. And that should be about that right level. So keeping that in mind, just go ahead and mix these guys up real quick. We got our salt, we have our baking powder, we have our flour in here. It's gonna be a nice little salty mixture. But the sugar itself, again, being that differentiation of what makes it a Korean dog, is that sweetness that comes with the breading. So I'm very curious to see what that end product is gonna be. I feel like most of us in America are like, ooh, sugar on like a salty product, sometimes not the best idea. But hey, I've made some bacon jam, which is sugar with bacon fat, and you know, like, it's, don't hate on it until you try it. You know, I'm very open to when it comes to food. So like, obviously for what I do, but yeah. So at this point in my life, it's more of a don't knock it until you try a vibe. So we'll see how far that one goes. Okay. I would have loved to have a whisk on me, but I've left most of my equipment at the kitchen. So I'll have to come back around and buy like a different whisk so I can use for these type of streams. But a fork will work just in case. You just gotta make sure that you're getting in there and you're mixing up as much as you can. That's gonna be your coating. So the more combined it is, the better off you're gonna be. You're gonna have those nice, even flavors all around your corn dogs. So we're looking good right there. A little bit shake, flip it, toss it. Start from the bottom, toss it to the top. Just get that little circulation going, right? Cover around all the sides, pick it up, scrape all the sides, mix it all up, give it a little shake on your plate. You know, you get double mixture, and go from there. Cool. Aight, that's this guy. Huevo. Ask for 1 egg. I can maybe do 2, but for now let's just try the 1 egg. See where we go. Let's see what we get from there. Korean corn dogs, brother Bear. What is up, my dude? Yeah, man. It's been since when was the first time we brought this up, Gigi? We were talking about corn dogs out of nowhere, and it just became a thing. But yeah, it's been like a whole week that I've been like, you know what? I should do a stream about corn dogs. So I've been curious, and here we are. You know, I did chili cheese dogs not that long ago, but I kind of wished I really brought that to the table. That would have been really fun to do or to show on camera in terms of the creative process. Because, you know, chili and dogs is very simple, but again, you know me. I got creative with it. I started adding some seasonings to it, and man, it was a really, really good corn dog. Very good. Okay. So here, specifically with the egg, is why you want to have a whisk. But I'm just gonna do my best to scrape the sides again and kind of like push it in between itself, get that coating. I feel like I can add an egg to this, real talk. A little more of an egg, that'd be great. Let's try to make another wheel. Hopefully it won't be too much. No, but egg really is that binder in the product. So I think adding another egg won't hurt anybody. You know, if anything, it'll just make it good. Oh gosh, fucked up in that crap. Yep. Okay. Good. Towel to dry up. All right. I'm hoping the dog shows up at some point so I can point him out. But yeah, that'd be fun. If you guys haven't had the chance to see Brother Bears and I's little Fortnite stream, that's a good one. I think we did a great job trying not to die in a universe where killing is the name of the game. But yeah, I had fun. Definitely appreciate being able to show off that Assassin's Creed skin. They like I mentioned in the stream, at this point they know who they're talking to. That one guy who bought the Ezio skin and what's his face, Rick Rolls, what's his Rick oh, I forgot his name, but the Rick Roll Never Gonna Give You Up song is just, oh man, they know who they're working with at this point. My generation. Rick Ashley? What is his name? If anybody knows in chat. The guy that goes like, never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down. Never gonna go around and hurt you. We're gonna let you down. We're gonna say goodbye. Alright, we're not trying to get copyrighted. Okay, so we have a nice little mixture of egg, flour. You'll see like all the chunky bits. That is that egg absorbing all the flour, which is okay. You know, we don't necessarily want chunky bits, but once we add that milk to it, it's really going to start thinning everything out. So I'm not too worried about it yet. We're still at the solid phase, and we're about to jump over to the liquidy phase. So the Cody liquidy phase. So that guy's good to go. Got a couple things again. I'm just pushing down on the flour to get that nice little compact feel to that. Coloring all the flour, giving it that yellow color. The corn is starting to get that yellowish corn doggy color. And that's kind of where we want to be. Wow. Hey. Leche. You knew. Milk. And we have our little measuring cup that was somewhere around here. Down in. Alright, well. Looks like I legit am gonna have to eyeball it at this point. Very cool. So I have a third of a cup. So I believe it was 3/4 of a cup is what they were asking for. So 2/3 would be about a little bit underneath 3/4. So let's go ahead and do 2 of these guys, and maybe like a half of the other guy. 2.5 cups of this guy right here. So that's 3/4. Oh, that's 1/3. Right. That's 2/3. And it's gonna be about 3/4 of a cup right here. There you go. Try to make that work out. Never gonna say goodbye. Go around and hurt you. So you got that liquidy there going out. This is gonna be the fun part. This is the most important part when you're making a batter. You really want to make sure that everything is being nice and coated, nice and mixed. You don't want any lumps in your batter. That's gonna end up being like either salty bits or in this case sugary clumps. We're trying to get rid of all these clumps. That's why this milk is really important, and that's why, again, if you're being super creative, you could probably use some of that beer actually and make like that would be a beer batter at that point. So just trying to be conscious of our mixing space, mixing bowl as a plate. Everything is here, ready to go. You know, starting to dry up a little bit, and you're also starting to get that coating color, or that nice coaty feel of a batter. So make sure you're scraping all the bottoms, going in circles, getting all the bottoms here, organizing, and there you go. Starting to look like the male batter at this point, but hey, maybe we can start making some Korean tamales. You never know. Go around, hurt you. Oh yeah, that's looking good. It's getting that bright yellow color, so I'm into that. There you go. And if you don't have like a whisking arm, it's good to start whisking. You know? It's good to start getting used to it. You'll eventually get used to like what it takes to really put your arms in full blast and start whisking up flour, sauces, dredges, vinaigrettes. You get used to it, but you don't get used to it, if that makes any sense. It's always gonna be like a, oh shit, here comes the pain, but at the same time you get used to that pain. You're like, all right, here comes the pain. But yeah, again, getting those clumps, try and get those out of the way. Right, looking good over here. This one's the one that has the 60 frames, so I'll do it down here. Or actually, this is the one that has 90 frames, this camera, so I'll do it down here. Whisk, whisk, whisk. Make that happen. Then we're gonna sit and go around and hurt you. There we go. I'm getting to a good level. So far, so good. Possibilities are endless. So yeah, of course, man. Why is how? Oh, wait a minute. Are we talking about like gas oil for carts? That's a good joke. Took me a second, but we got there. We got there. Okay. So again, on this guy, looking fresh, oil ready to go here. Add a little bit more to get that level, right? This guy, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, that's a decent level. So yeah, I don't think this is like it's not that hard to do per se, and I'm saying that very lightly. I'm not trying to offend anybody to be like, oh well, I don't cook. But if you know, again, the hardest part is finding this mixture and making it all work out. I think if you get used to the whole mixing process, or even if you have like a mixer, people have like cool kitchen aids, which are like little bowls that mix this up for you. That'd be perfect. You could just throw all this in there, mix it up, and then yeah, you would have a nice batter mixture ready to go. But we're getting there. I see a few clumps in there. It's not perfect, but I think we're getting to most of that. So looking good. So we'll have it at that. Okay. Like I said, ooh, this one's looking really, really good. We had a decent mixer started. You know, this is a little tester that I had going on, but have this guy ready to go. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna transfer some of this batter into the cup, and then that way it will give us a nice surface area where we can just dip, where we can get our hot dog and just dip it inside the cup, pull it out, and then get some breading done. That's gonna be the process with this guy. It's a quick little cheat, but it's okay. LOL. Does not look like it's enough for the 8 hot dogs. Maybe it's just camera perspective. I'm gonna try to make it work out. I agree with you in that aspect, but I'm gonna try to make it work out. Let's see how many we can get. Maybe let's try to get the good guys first, and we'll go from there. So yes. The fun part is gonna be not spilling all over the place, but don't worry. Oh wait. What? There you go. Don't worry. I'm a professional. Hey, you're not supposed to say that while laughing. Yeah, I'm a professional. It's all good. Okay. It's a good amount right there. Alright. I'll save the rest for the next batch. Cool. That mixture in there. Camera's perspective. Yeah, and I agree about the whole camera angle on this guy. I do wish I could. It's like I have an interesting little setup going on right now. I guess you can see it. The camera's up there. You see that guy? And it's just being held up by these 2 cabinet doors, which is call me creative. Your boy thinks outside the box, you know. I gotta make it work somehow. So here we are. Okay. This guy is feeling very, very consolidated. So I'm debating whether maybe adding a little bit more liquid into it, but I think we can try maybe like a tester per se. So let's see if I can get this guy. Go here. They said couldn't be done, man. You got the cheese. 1, 2, 3. What? Oh, buddy. Ooh, no, that's intense. Yeah, dude, it's okay. Ready for this beauty? Oh man. Okay. Yeah, no, that's great. That's great. I think if I can get them all to be like that, that'd be perfect. Okay. Tester. Let's go. Oh. Okay, cool. I got that right there. Ready? 3, 2, 1. What? So again, the idea is going to be trying to get that all to stick. Panko is a very nice breading because it's not as thin. It has more of a body and shape to it. So it's fairly forgiving in terms of how you bread it. as long as you have that coating on the outside, it should stick on and it should be able to hold itself. But that's gonna be the fun part. Where's that go? Now we're getting to the next stage of our procedure, which is going to be the frying method. Again, we are hitting 135 degrees ideally. So let's go ahead and be safe and measure that out with this kit over here. And then to do that simply, you're just going to get your thermometer, put it inside the oil, tilt it so you have more of a surface area, and then read your thermometer. Right now we're hitting 300, rising up to about, let's see, 394. Okay, so about hitting 310, that's okay. Just bump it up a little bit more, right? Clear that out. And then again, we're at 2, so I would just go up to 3. That should get it that level. This is our panko. It's easy, solid, just regular panko. I could get creative and add some thyme in there and give it a bit more of a seasoning, but I think for now we'll just leave it be and do that. And then for my second option, I set aside some Italian breadcrumbs, which is breadcrumbs, panko is bread, and I've added some Parmesan in there. So what I'm trying to go for is a nice Italian style corn dog. So we'll see how that one ends up. But this is going to be my little side B component. And see how far we get with that guy. Okay. A little bit of that, dude. And again, at a certain point, we're just making mozzarella sticks. Yeah, let's get these guys from the fridge. See how that guy goes. Yeah, oof. Alright. I'm not trying to date myself, but if any of you out there know what a Zoom is, I feel like a Zoom episode right now. Oh man, Zoom was a shit back in my day. Fuck yeah. Okay, I'm better. Okay. Alrighty. Yamate kudasai. LOL. Does not look like it's enough for the 8 dog. Maybe the camera up. Now you hear a sound from that glass. Now you hear a sound from Be gentle, Oni-chan. Onegai. Yamate. Okay. Go man. When you put the dog in the sauce. Okay, that's getting weird. I will stop a little bit now. Lol. Yamate kudasai. Yeah. Man, you just kind of like build like this muscle memory to just start whipping things up, you know? You get used to it. But again, we're just trying to remove those clumps and get those guys out of the way. There's that little, take that as you will. And there you go. You guys, nice little batter down there. Alright. Let's see. Cool. Batter. Sausages, cheeses, batter, panko, Italian breadcrumbs. What more can he do, you might ask? Okay, I'll get rid of this guy first, but I got a plan coming up in a few. Maybe even like breadcrumbs mixed with a panko would be the better option, because then you'd have that thick coating, but then you'd be able to add that seasoning of the herbs that are inside the Italian breadcrumbs and the Parmesan that was added into that. So looking forward to that. Right here's gonna be our what we call our landing plate, or a landing platform. Is that what it is? Yeah. And basically it's a plate with some napkins on it, so that way when we pull out the dogs, the napkins can absorb the oil, and that way we don't have this messy mess of oil spilling everywhere. So we're pretty much there. That's gonna be the final push with this guy. So we have our breadcrumbs ready to go. We have extra breading in the background. We have a tester, right? We said we're gonna test this guy. So let's see if we can get away with it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wow. Got that crackling sounds. Beautiful, beautiful. And with this spoon, I'm just gonna start basting it, which is basically throwing more oil on top of it. That way we can already start the cooking process from the beginning of it, even though it's not completely submerged. In an ideal world, like you said, in an ideal world, I would have all the oil filled up, and then I wouldn't have to necessarily worry about the, this part of it. But like you said, Nevo, oil is expensive right now, so we're gonna make it work. And I can already see some cheese boiling out. You see that popping sound? That's gonna be all that cheese coming outside. So that's just gonna encourage me to start using more either breading or more panko. See, you got that golden crust on that. The other guy's starting to crisp up. Just gonna keep on basting it a little bit more, getting that guy to come out. Very cool. You hear that sound? That's the sound of people cheering from another dimension. There you go. Alright, give a little bit. Give a little bit of time, let it chill out for a bit. Okay. Looks like it's a good spot. Get this guy. Boom. Landing pad. Beautiful. And pull this guy off the fire, let it chill out for a little bit, and be alright. Okay. So again, you're gonna have like this riffraff floating around in your plate. That's kind of something that you don't. It's kind of like the downside of using oil or deep frying products. Oh, wait a minute, I had something cool too. But yeah, so it's gonna be. Ideally, you just kind of want to have that. Did I leave that in yellow? Gomen. That on this guy. That's the way that happened, huh? Let's go ahead and mix these items up. I like that. I like that idea. Street dogs, huh? Okay, so now we have a little bit of that Italian breading with the panko. I'm a big fan of Italian seasonings. You know, that includes herbs. That includes like basically herbs. Basically just herbs. Parsley, a little bit of maybe oregano if you're getting creative. Stuff like that. I'm a big fan of pastas themselves. So Italian herbs and stuff has been like one of my favorite go-tos in terms of culinary styles. So you have this guy. Put this guy back for a bit. Yep. And do something fun with. Yeah, dude. It's happening, my dude. Pop. Oh, that's definitely healthy. Only the healthiest in this kitchen, bro. Come on. As we're drinking a beer in the back. Aircraft carrier, dog carrier. I see you have that type of fetish. You like to cook and eat and let us starve. Hey, man. If you ask nicely, maybe I'll airmail it to you. You said it's out of the country? Alright, we'll figure that one out. But, like, if you just listen really closely, maybe it's some ASMR shit, you know? You never know. That'd be really cool, honestly. Like, if you were able to just... Well, my mind kind of jumps to, what is it, Willy Wonka, when he makes that Insta-television, where you can just taste the product from your television. I think that's what I would have to figure out one way or the other. But that'd be an interesting one to definitely try out. We gotta get these nice and crumbled, so that way we can use that as our substitute filling. Yeah. Because I'm savage without any feelings, I will destroy these hot Cheetos without any remorse. Because I never really liked hot Cheetos growing up. That was just more of a I don't want to eat hot, spicy things. So, interesting how the world comes around, right? Now it's like the biggest little pop-up bar substitution. Hot Cheetos presses. People add that like on like corn, like if it's like a mayo layered corn, they start dipping it into hot Cheetos crumbles. They put it on mac and cheese now? What? You people, man. I'm telling you. These creative, fearless people, man. Creating. That's about there, as far as I'm willing to go per se. Okay, that's a lot of Cheeto. That's a big Cheeto. I haven't even eaten anything, but they're all red fingers. Shout out to Mr. Nick Scarpino from Kinda Funny himself. Mr. Cheetos Fingers himself. I had a good time watching the stream and playing with them in Fortnite on midnight afternoon. That was a cool time. Put that in there. Let's get out of the way. Okay, got these guys ready to go. That guy ready to go. That guy ready to go. Batter ready to go. We're good to go, my dude. Haha. You just need one guy holding the camera, then you don't need all those cameras. Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? And then I really like the idea you mentioned earlier of having that cable mic or that corded mic. That'd be really cool to kind of just use. But I mean, for now, it's not that I don't like it. It's just, I don't necessarily dislike the production aspect of things. It's just, you know, sometimes I have to make a whole deal out of it, and I have to like ask people to not come by and show up and all that stuff. And on one side I feel bad about it, but the other side is like, man, I need a break from you guys too. So nothing wrong with a little break, right? Okay, so looking good. That's gonna be our dude. This is gonna be our friends, and then we're gonna dip it in this guy, and we're gonna go in here, light up our oil real quick. I'm gonna go for 3. Let's try to do 3 at once, and I'll see how far I can get away with it. But I'm a little concerned about that cheese. We're just gonna have to really make sure that we come through and push through with that. So 1, 2, 1, 2. Ooh, you got me, my dude. You got me wild. Okay, see if we can make it work. All right, it is what it is. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. What? 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. And shit. 2, 3, 4. 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. This guy. And then last but not least, the beef bite. I'll show you guys the last one. Just getting the outer stuff. Getting that in there. Corn dogs, huh? Corn dogs. Okay. That's 4 right there. Panko goes on top. This is gonna be that fun time. So I'm just trying to formate these guys, condense them, push them through even more, try and get that batter to like really stick to it. At this point, that batter is gonna want to slip out and deform, but it's within our best interest to get that guy nice and packed. That's where that's gonna go. At this point, I'm starting to wish I had a bigger little surface area. I would recommend having like a nice big third pans are cool if you have those. If anyone knows what I'm talking about, you know, they'll be nice and they're like nice longer stainless steel pots that just are able to hold maybe like a 4-inch. Yeah, we can get away with that. Got this guy here. This guy here. Pushing in. Pushing in. Ooh, yummy, yummy, yummy. There you go. Pushing in, pushing in. There you go. There you go. That's not too bad. If I had to really rate this, I'd say that, let's see. I think the breading or the cornmeal could use some improvement. Oh, this guy's empty. But yeah, you just have to really make sure you try to get as much as you can on that. That's a really interesting looking corn dog. There's that guy, right? Pink on top. Get that squeeziness down the line. Okay. Give it a nice little twist. Push it down. More panko on top. Push it down. Just trying to form that. Trying to form that outer crust for the most part. So try to use both hands. Try to get like if you're forming clay, basically at this point, you're trying to push it all together. Again, very conscious of that cheese that I'm gonna have to melt, so I really want to try to get that breaded as much as possible, so that way the cheese doesn't escape the breading, and that way we can just get away with this. But again, big fan of mozzarella sticks. Never actually made any, but I'll count this as a mozzarella win. Cheesy sticks win, right? All right. Something like that. Cool. This guy back up for a bit. Okay. Oof. Definitely missing out on the Cheetos. Nobody gets scared. Cheetos. All right. Quick little dry up. Fair. Alright, cool. If you had gloves, that'd be great. I mean, that'd be cool to have, right? Like a little bit of gloves. But not gonna say that you need to, per se. As long as you know what you're doing, that's great. Woo! The question is, does he know what he's doing? Haha, yeah. Yes. Looks good. Thanks, man. To be fair, Cheetos will really elevate any product at this point. That's what people are into nowadays. So get that nice and cracked. Separation. Boom, boom, boom. Form your little crust. And I'll do the Cheetos last, just because I don't want to. I don't want the oil to burn. I feel like throwing the Cheetos in there with all the chili and all that will really make it burn. So just let that guy chill out for a bit in here. Okay. And also, that whole bag of Cheetos pretty much only gave me two hot dog or corn dog crust. So keep that into consideration. Wow, things are expensive nowadays. It's like $1.250, $1.50 or $2.50. I can't remember. I don't really buy Cheetos, but dude, I don't like dating myself by saying this, but like back in my day, Cheetos were like $1. You can buy a Cheeto bag for $0.25, and then you'd have a pretty big bag if you bought $1. Or you can be what's the word, gluttonous like me, and get one bag of Ruffles, one bag of Funyuns, one bag of Cheetos, and one bag of Sun Chips, $0.25 each. So $1 would be like your own little mixture. So OG, what was it, the party mix, the Chex Mix? No. That one little Munchos, the Munchos mix. That was me right there, the OG. But yeah, man, times have changed really, really intensely. It's been quite the marvel to see it from a distance, you know. Okay, so you got 2 Cheeto bags, or 2 Cheeto dogs, corn dogs. Yeah, that's about right. Cool. And I'll do those last, like we said. So hold them off for later. Okay. I have one last suggestion. I guess I can use this guy. I'm just not too sure if they're ready to go. They mention potatoes, that they use potatoes for this guy. So I'm thinking of using some crinkle cut fries. So let's do 3. Maybe we won't use the fully wiener guys. Okay. Put it off to the side. Stick to the side. Oh no. Go man. Ow. I'm not burning myself. Right? Not this much, maybe. It's gonna be like a little outer layer for the fries. I'll put this there. I'm gonna use my friend, the knife. Okay. Simple little chop method on these guys. Nothing too fancy. We're just trying to get them to smaller bits. So we'll just line them up like this. Use the end of or use your knife to kind of line them up. This guy's to the side. Don't get in the way. Scooch over and then just go down the line. Try to go fairly thin, I guess. Okay, so here we go. They are frozen though, so you gotta be careful with how you cut through them. That being said, I'm a fan of potatoes, so hopefully this tastes better than it looks. Maybe seasoning these guys wouldn't be too bad, but I think since they're still frozen, you don't want to mess around with them too badly. However, the liquid on this is going to be a problem once I start breading it, because the liquid is going to start melting, or the condensation is going to kick in from these fries, and then it might make that coating rub off or come off from the hot dog itself. I don't want to cut too hard because I don't want to break anything per se. There you go. Sounds like I'm executing something. French fry executor? No. Two, three, and 4. That's something right there. Let's get these guys organized. Side here. Okay, a little more of these fries and we should be okay. Again, not too hard on this recipe. I'm just at this point I'm just being like super extra and trying to make things a little differently. Try to really explore the option of what makes a Korean dog a Korean dog. Or I mean a Korean dog, corn dog, a Korean corn dog. But again, the sugar should really kick in and make a difference. This other stuff, this other coating layers is just gonna be more of a addition to the process and to the product. But we will see. 2, 3, 4, 5. Something like that. Okay, that's about enough for 2. This will be our last one. Yeah, we'll just cut down these guys and call it a day. And we always have an air fryer, so we can air fry the crap out of these fries. Hello. Yosh. Okay. They're starting to melt down a bit on those guys, which is good because it makes it easier to cut them down. So yeah, I'd actually recommend pulling them out of your freezer maybe 30 minutes prior so they can like loosen up a little bit. Not too much because I think you want to have them keep that solidness to them as they're frying on the pan. But you know, try and make your life easier. Let them thin out or let them cool out for a little bit, or thaw out for a little bit, and that way you can have an easier time cutting through this guy. I'm just lucky I have decent-ish knives. Just kidding, baby. You're a great knife. Before somebody gets offended. What? There you go. Okay. That's about 3 right there. So we'll save the other guys for the air fryer. Yes. Okay. 2. I can do 2. Call it a day. Or just do like a simple base of corn dog for this guy. Almost there. Don't get too excited. I'm almost there. Alright, ready? Got that extra corn dog cream. Sashi sucesso. But honestly, if you guys could smell what the rock is cooking, I feel like we'd all be in a good spot right now. We'd all be like, yo, that smells good. Okay. And last but not least, this is going to be our final batch. Got some good corn dog mixture in there. Gotta get it to the yamete. Almost there, almost there. Whoa. I like this image of the single corn dog, like, just hanging out by himself, like. Okay. Looking solid. I think that's gonna be the dude right there. Okay. Sounds about right. Let's get it. Okay, that's it, my dude. Let's get it. Let's get it. I'm hyped. These guys dry up a little bit, and I constantly dry my hands so that way when I'm breading it with my hands, it doesn't again like wash off the coating and all that. A little swig, call it a happy Saturday or Sunday. And here we go. Alright. Looking solid. So we're gonna see how this guy works out. I'm not gonna say I'm not too confident, but I'm curious to see what this is gonna end up being. But you know what? Ever me, the unsatisfied. I'm gonna season these guys before I throw them in. A little bit of garlic powder, give it that garlicky feel. A little bit of let's see. I have a lot of stuff in here. Thyme, basil. I have a good seasoning. We could use Lori's. Where's yours all the time? Adobo. You got some honey, oil. Huh. Oh, we had Lori's. There you go. A little bit of Lori's seasoning, the good stuff. Seasoned salt. Nah, this guy right here. Eat. Just a little bit, because again, the coating has enough salt on it. So I don't want to overdo it. I just want to give it that little garlicky, seasony taste to it. Okay. About there. Cool. Set these guys to the side for 2 seconds. Give it a little bit of a oof mixture in there. Use your fingers. There you go. You can already smell the stuff in there. Herbs wise, I bought some stuff like a thyme, but I think it's okay. Nah, it's me. I have basil. Basil works. I will use basil. Give it a nice little. There you go. Nice little look. There you go. And then that's what I would call a gourmet version of potato chips. Potato chips again. Alright. There she is. Alright, it's gonna be an interesting one because I'm gonna have to. I could chop it down finer. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, let's do that. Shoo! 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 There you go. Alright. Last but not least, let's chop it up. Let's chop it up. Now that's like fairly melted, I want to say. How you doing over there, oil? Hopefully not burnt yet. I want to. No, I turned off the heat, so I should be fine. But yeah, you just gotta make sure that you don't burn your oil and all that. It's better. A little bit more manageable in terms of breading wise. You know, smaller pieces means more coating. More coating means more flavor. That's what we're going for here. Get all this. Now the other half. Let's get right here. Go. Okay. Wrapping it up in a few. Almost there. We want to eat too. Oh yeah? What's your go-to like? I want to say comfort food. What's your comfort food that you like? Something that you can say that you can not make, but if you really tried, you could probably try to go for it. Like what is your style of food that you would like? And don't say chicken tenders, for the love of God. There's more to life than just chicken tenders, guys. Please. Wait. Okay. Let's get in there. Yeah. Nicer chop, so that way you can get a good coating on that. Okay, cool. I like that. Feels good. Okay. Wow. Flexing to flex. Okay, let's use these guys. Switch it up a little bit. 1, 2. Wow. Okay. This is it. Let's do this. I'm excited. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, blah. Twist it as it's coming up, so that way it gets all that flavor. Throw all these guys on top, get it coated. Tell them, hey man, it's all good. Life happens. This is your coat. This is your protective shell, as you're gonna get fried, dropped in the vat of frying oil. Ooh, yeah, definitely. Again, like I mentioned earlier, that potato sogginess is really breaking down the crust, but it's up to us to keep that molded, organized, and clean. There you go. Look at that. Okay. Again, it's like you're working with clay. You just want to make sure that it comes through. I just put these guys on top. So you don't break down. And then you in there. A little bit of potato-ness. Mix it all up. Get that coating. Twist, twist, twist. 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 Whoa. Drop. Yeah. Okay. Might be down a couple of potatoes on this guy, but it is what it is. Let's make it happen. Ooh. There you go. There you go, buddy. Nice and coated. This is what I imagine tucking your child before bed is like. Woo. Woo. Oh, I realized what I did wrong. I used the round bowl, and then now this stick is in the way, so I can't really get that perfect layering technique. But there she is. A little bit of potatoes never hurt anybody. Here we go. Okay. All right. This came out a lot better than I thought it would, to be honest. If I can be honest with you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna put this guy down here. Get rid of this kid over here. Hands washed. Yosh. Dekimashita. Hai. Ikuyo. Oh, look at this mess. I love it. Tester boy. Tester boy. Tester boy. Ah. All right. All right. Does that count as eating? Does that count as me sharing my Wonka vision? I think I'm good with curry and pasta. Hey, if that's a reference to our last stream, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. It was delicious. It was delicious. Looks good. Thank you. And looks like chicken wings in terms of this guy right here, or oh the other, oh yeah, the breaded chicken wings. Correct. Fair enough. Hey, I ain't gonna hate on that. I like chicken wings. Okay, looking good. I'll clean this all up by the time I finish up. But we're ready to start frying again. We have our potato mixture. We have our panko / Italian breadcrumbs mixture, and we have our chetos con chile mixture. So looking good. Just organizing a little bit, giving myself that elbow room so I don't blow up anywhere, and ready to go. Got Parmesan for the garnish, a little bit of sugar for the other garnish. Panko is good, herbs are fine, breadcrumbs are fine. I'll leave that there. Got you with that curry, fam. Bam. Okay. Yosh. Ikuyo. How are you doing? That's fine. Cheeto finger. No! Ow. Cheeto finger. What? I got him. Yes. Okay. Good. This guy's fine. Let's get a little flip. Maybe get some more. Pattern it out. In the meantime, I'm just gonna start wiping down a couple things. Clean as you go, folks. In the culinary industry, we never have time to just stop and clean. So you want to make sure you're cleaning as much as you can as you're going. Once those doors open, oof, buddy, you're not gonna have a chance to breathe. You know, you gotta be nice to yourself. You gotta save yourself those seconds by being ahead of the curve, and that means cleaning as you go. Okay, I'm excited. Okay, here we go. Level 3, 350 degrees, about, right? Potatoes, thingy, potatoes, güeros. Whoa! Damn it. Wow. Potato, breadcrumbs, and cheese. So we said we'd do the breadcrumbs first. Maybe we could sneak in the potato in there. See how it goes, ready? I'm gonna let it heat up a little bit longer, or a little bit long. Yeah, a little bit longer. I was right. And then thermometer on. Thank you. Amazing look. So thermometer, here we go. We're hitting 236 and rising easily. I'm gonna give it a little bit more time. Said that temperature would hit 300. That's fine. We'll leave it number 3, 350. And then yeah, you just want to make sure that it's your oil itself is ready to go, because once you throw it in there, it starts becoming like a time crisis. You're counting down the clock so you can try to get that right crispiness. But if your oil's still trying to get to that temperature point, then obviously you're not gonna have that right cooking in that span of time that you're hoping for. So trying to keep that in mind is really important. So just throwing that one out there. In the meantime, grab a beer, chill out. But so far so good. I hope you guys learned a little thing or two. We've more or less reaching the climax of this event stream, and I hope that you guys had fun as much as I did. We're here still hoping to making more culinary streams, seeing what I can do with the products that are given to me, and figuring out something fun to kind of give back to you guys in terms of a production and a learning lesson, right? Because like, it's good to learn. I think it's a good thing if we're trying to like see things and check it out and all that. But here we go. Chicken wings, huh? I could do chicken wing. Kangai. Kanpai? 366. 310, 315, 320, steadily rising. We're gonna hit about 350 and maybe like less than a minute. About a minute. Looks like you're amazing. kanpai, kanpai, kanpai. Yes, ma'am. Or person, friend. Kanpai. This is delicious. There's this live drama adaptation of what's it called? Wakizuke or Wakizoke or Wazizuke. It's about a she's 26. It's funny. It's about like a 27-year-old office lady who what her favorite thing to do is after work go to a pub, order like a nice little appetizer and a drink that goes with the appetizer. So in each episode you see her go to a different Tokyo pub, order a different food item and a drink that goes with it. And they have a nice little time explaining why it's good and why it's fun. But my favorite part of the show is that every time she takes when she takes that first sip of that beer, she goes, pish or poo. Or it's like that exertion of like, I don't know, like of like, whoo. And it's like the cutest / funniest thing, and it makes the whole series. Yeah. Aside from like learning like culinary and all that, but she goes like pishoo is how she makes that noise. It's cute. Yosh, ready. Oof, ready to go. Let's do this. Ready? Yep. 330, 346, 360. Easy money. We're already there. So we're hitting those higher numbers, dropping a little bit down. Ready to go. Let's go with the potatoes. Let's do potatoes first. Oh, no. I lost my lid on the potato. Let's go with the potatoes first because that's going to be a starch that will be able to really absorb. Although it's going to give a lot of water residual. That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay, let's do this guy. Let's do the bread. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Whop. Whop. And then oil on top. 1, 2, baste it. 2, 3, 4. There we go. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. You get that coloring look to it. Oof, delish. You know what? I'll do you one more solid. Let's get it. That cheese looks like it was about to melt, so I really want to get that in before it starts getting messy. What? Ooh, I can smell that Lawry's seasoning and the garlic just really come through once it hits that oil. Really, really cool. Or delicious smell to that. Get in there. You got a nice little crispy layer. Alright. 1, 2, 1, 2. What? 1, 2, 1, 2. What? There he goes. Oh, we're losing our potato foot coating. That's that moisture from the potatoes kicking in. So yeah, again, I would highly recommend pulling the potatoes outside of the freezer before you get this started. That way the moisture can leave, and maybe actually drying out the potatoes like a napkin would have been a really good idea. Like a dry them out before you start the breading procedure. That'd be really cool. But we're getting there, at least. At least he says. There you go. More, 2 more, 3 more, and delicious. Okay, yeah, more or less getting there. I'm really looking forward to making some mozzarella sticks after this. Like, I feel like it's the same procedure. Maybe with the mozzarella sticks specifically, I would want to use the all-purpose flour. That way you don't have that corn feeling lingering, but you know, it's to each their own. It's a learning process. Ooh, there. Whoa, come on, baby. There we go. There he goes. He's gonna do his best. So 3 is a little bit of a crowd. Maybe I'll stick to 2 as I'm going through this, guys. But that's about it, man. We're getting there. I see the seasoning on the Italian breading, and it's like, it's good. Maybe that's just Italian me really craving that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. Up. There you go. Beautiful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roll it over. Get that breading really, really nice and crispy. Oh, shoot. A nice little predicament. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pop. There you go. There you go. These chopsticks are the ones that really get in the way. I have scissors, don't I? Let's go over here. Let's do something like this. There you go. Makes it easier. That way they can just hang out in the bottom. There you go. Okay. Definitely makes it easier. And I'm really going to try to get all these guys cooked and ready to go in this one oil batch. I don't necessarily want to use too much oil, but that's going to be the goal for today. My little mini mission, you know. We're just basting it, making sure everything gets coated. Nice little oilage, nice little crispiness, tender and all that. Beautiful. Kawaii na. Chotto kawaii. Oh, that's the cutest thing. I need to go watch that show. I left off like in the 2nd episode, but I'll never forget that one night when I just rolled up on Crunchyroll and I was like, wait a minute. They have a live action version? Wazukoze, I think is what it's called. Okay. Sheesh. 3, 2, 1. What? Lift, twist, up, and cheese. What? There you go. Cheese and McCheese. Oh, I like this potato one. It's not holding up well, but oh shit, yeah, I ain't getting out of here. But that crust is almost immaculate, man. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So looking good, man. Oh shit, they look good. I surprise myself sometimes. But again, if you had like a really cool deep fryer, that'd probably be best. You could put these guys breaded, put them inside the little deep fryer cage, put it in there, and get the second one and put it right on top, so that way it stops them from floating too high, and that way they can stay inside that basket of fryer, and they would just cook itself out like that. That'd be really, really good. But you know, making it happen. And even on my end, like honestly, at this point, I would probably just stick them in the air fryer and finish off whatever needs to be done. Even though they are really well cooked and they're good to go, I think you could get away with making them even better by the air fryer just really, really getting the crispiness to that level. And that's what I feel is what you want to try to get, especially with this potato one. This potato one would look really bomb, or would taste really bomb if you had all that ready to go. Okay, Cheetos next. Ready? 3. Oh no. Just kidding. Let's cut off the thingies first. What? And almost there. Right? 3, 2, 1. What? Cheetos. There we go. And ready? 3, 2, 1. What? Sure. This is gonna be our last kid. So now that we've been putting a couple of them in there, the oil's going to go down, so I'm going to bust it a little bit higher and try to get that level, back to that level. You just want to be careful that you don't want to do too high, but you want to get that same level of it. So we're getting there. Look. Let me eat this little. Oh, that's good. Oh my god, that's good. That's just a potato on the outside. Oh, dude, I totally apologize for that, but I'm telling you, these neighbors just have like a fucking knack of like knowing when I'm doing shit like this. They filled up a bouncy house right outside this window. The last time they filled up a bouncy house right outside my room window, and it's like, dudes, come on. Oh man, it's the neighborhood kids. They're having fun. I respect that. You know, they're having fun. It's all good. Must be nice to have a bouncer at that age or whatever. But it's like, you know, it's what I mean by like, sometimes you just wish you can have some time or some privacy or a place to yourself, and unfortunately, California is not very adequate for that. But whatevs, it is what it is. I have fun doing this. I accept that I'm not the only living soul in this universe, so I gotta share it with the world. Get us, dude. A part of me just felt like a really small part of me is just like, what if I just pop the balloon, you know? Or the bounce house. That's not nice. Again, it must be nice to have one at that age. I wouldn't put it past anybody to like to enjoy themselves. You know, you're only young once, and I mean young as in like an 8-year-old, 7-year-old. Once life kicks in, it really doesn't. You can't go back to those moments per se. So what was the phrase? The phrase from Ruby where it's like, "Let them be." They're only children once or something like that. Like, but they won't be children for long. They won't be allowed to be children for much longer or something like that. Like, eventually we all grow up and we have to deal with all this other stuff. So let them be. You know, let them enjoy themselves. It's all good. It's just impeculate timing on their part to just be like, oh, I heard we're making Korean dogs today. Let's load up the bouncer and have a good time. I'm telling you, the seasoning on that potato. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, it's gonna be fun. And I'm just making. Yes, I'm hungry, but I'm also making room so I can get like a good picture out of this guy. Whew. Yup. Yup. Oh yeah. That's some good shit right there. Alright. Coming up to the finish line, almost there, almost there. Getting that. Get a little bit more basting going on. Towards me this time. Ooh. All the way up. There you go. There you go. Oh yeah. Now you get all that crispy goodness. And then we've done a good job of keeping that oil fairly fresh. Like it's not terrible yet. You can still see the yellow in it, which means that it's just not burnt. So that's good oil management on my part. I'm just gonna pat myself on the back for that one, you know. Years of training in the hellish fires of Bubblegum Shrimp Company. Ooh, that was an ordeal. Oof, man. Oh, there you go. Give it one more turn and then we should be good to go after that. Come on, there she is. Beautiful. Oh yeah. And look, we did a good job of not letting the cheese melt out or get out of there too much. It's doing a fairly good job. I can see it like trying to get out like on this corner, but it does a good job of like being there, staying inside. So I guess the breading really did come through. We made it happen. Oh, that wasn't cooked. All right. This guy, you can totally see his butt, but it's okay. Makes sense. Lol. Life's hard. It is what it is. Hey man, you just gotta do your best to to float on like a good artist once said back in my day. Just gotta float on. I mean, conversely though, if you guys wanted to support, we could talk about that too. You support it. I got big dreams, man. I don't know. I'm not sure what. Okay, that's not the right phrasing. I know what it is that I expect out of this, or I know what it is, the image of what I want to, what my goals are for this channel and all that stuff. Like, I have a clear idea of where I want to be. But at the same time, I'm not trying to put myself in a box per se. Like, I know there's always room for growth. I know that there's things are always gonna switch up and just be different, and life never is not gonna work out exactly the way you plan it. But I feel like being flexible and being honest and being able to work with those situations is what really makes the core of a human being, and I'm there for it. You know what I mean? I admire you. I would not be able to open that, to be that open in the camera. I mean, I think you have to be. I think, you know, I put on my Twitter bio social media influencer, and then I remember someone like calling me out on it, just to be like, oh, you're not even at 100 followers. Like, oh, reading these Twitter bios is really funny, I think is what they said. And I didn't really take an offense to that, because at the end of the day, like, we're just so connected by the internet, just so integrally connected through the internet, that you could start every day being like a shitty person, a troll, and just being mean to people, or you can start the day by just saying good morning, or seeing someone like, oh, I finally got my PS5, congratulations, I know how hard that is to do, and being supportive, you know. And you don't have to necessarily have a billion followers. You just have to try to push for a better tomorrow, and then hope that, you know, people are inspired to do that as well. And, you know, they say that the butterfly effect is one butterfly flapping its wings so hard that it changes the course of human history. Well, I also believe that if you spend your days being a positive force and trying to make someone's days better, then, you know, that person can make someone else's day. Oh, no. You never know. You could just inspire that person to be a better person tomorrow, and I think that's a great idea, or that's a good place to be. So, and then my whole thing is like, I don't like BSing people. I don't like bullshitting the fact that, like, yeah, like, again, like, life is not going to be the best at all points, but that doesn't mean that we can't appreciate the good times and try to push forward for like a better tomorrow. Yeah, I follow some Japanese people, and they post a lot and write every day, but they almost get no likes. I ask myself, why they do that if nobody reads it? It's for the same reason, I want to say. I think it's for the same reason, and then some people just like to have it as an outlet. Some people just need that space to not necessarily feel safe, but it's the ideal of journaling. When you're journaling, you're not necessarily writing it for people to read it. You're writing it so you can get these emotions out from inside of you and put them onto paper, and that makes things just a little bit easier, or it helps you process certain moments, or it helps you analyze what you're doing and hopefully be, again, like, make things better or work things out better in the future. So yeah, we're all just humans trying to make this happen. So I think that's what we should all just keep in mind. We're not all gonna have the best days, we're not gonna have the funnest days, but as long as you keep that level-headed mind of trying to not be too judgmental, because again, you never know what anybody is going through at any point in their life, but just be cool about it, you know. I work in IT, security and a lot. and you should not post so much about yourself in the internet. But they post a lot. In theory, you can get pretty good image about what the person likes, does, etc. That is true. I've never really liked doing social media. Like, I'm not a big fan of that for that exact reason. Because it's like, you know, we're in an age where like everything is available and everything is just kind of there. So I've never been a fan of kind of just putting out your whole, let's call it your dirty laundry, out and about. I'm a very private person in life per se, like in just life. I don't like to share too much because I feel like I just though rather not bring people down or bore people down with my issues. But at this point in my life, because of what I'm doing now and how I'm working with it, it's more of a production, because what I'm doing here is just trying to promote itself. So I've always understood the benefits of social media and that interconnectivity and being able to communicate with people across oceans, which is super, super cool. And I've always liked that and respected that. But up until this point, now that I'm doing something that requires that, I personally didn't want to share too much of myself online because it's, you know, it's a little too much for my taste. But hey, like I said, life doesn't always go the way you thought it would, so here we are. And here she is, potato covered, oh shit, Korean street dog. If I can get her out of the pan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What? Fair enough. That's all the cheese side. Beautiful. Beautiful. The healthiest, we said, man. The healthiest. Alright, well. I'm gonna get this guy out of the picture because it's different. One is. Oh, cheese! Delicious. But yeah. That last one died. Don't worry about it. But this guy is. Ooh. Deliciosos. I think we're looking good, man. Look at that. What do you guys think? Daijoubu desu ka? In theory, you can get a pretty good image of person likes. Yeah, definitely. Whatever they put on social media is kind of like what you can kind of like see about it. I would also like to stream sometimes. I make videos, but I'm a very anxious person. Looks good. Thanks, man. Delicious. Umai desu yo. Umai. This guy right here. Woo! But wait, there's more. So I messed up. I was supposed to get like mayonnaise, so that way you can just like drizzle it on top. However, I did bring a couple of toys. We have the usual condiments, ketchup, my personal favorite, barbecue, which is just an elevated version of ketchup. And you normally put mustard on these things, but I'm a fan of honey mustard, so I was thinking that could go well with the potato one. So let's just go ahead and drizzle a little bit of these guys on there, and complete the look, right? Make it what it can be. But yeah, definitely good talk. Barbecue's nice. Looks healthy. Again, only the healthiest in this house. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little bit of yellow to give it that nice McDonald's contrast look. Let's go. What? There you go. Come on, buddy. Almost there. Oh, dame da. Yosh. One. Let's put some barbecue on the other guy. Whoa. Barbecue is nice. Barbecue is great, man. I love barbecue. It's like my go-to. Because again, it's just an elevated ketchup. It's ketchup. What do you call it? Ketchup, sugar, and I want to say like a little bit of hickory smoke, boiled down with the caramelized sugar. Oh, what the heck? It's got a big hit over here. Okay. With the caramelized sugar, so it really just works out. There you go. Leave it like that. So the potato one was the one that really was the hardest to make. I think that potato crust really kind of like broke down halfway through, but it looks good. And like I said, maybe next time just dry out the potatoes. Make sure they have a dry that dry consistency. Maybe even like pre-cook them. Maybe you can have like a half-cooked potato or something like that. Go with that. So let's go this way. Oh, I messed up. Ooh, there you go. Just like that. Let's cheat a little bit. Cool. And voila. There she is. Making sure I don't have any more condiments. I have Miracle Whip. Does anybody use Miracle Whip? Because I don't. I don't even know where it came from. It's not enough anyways. Yeah, no, it's not enough. One more. Okay, we're good. Just kidding. Oh, and it said to add the brown sugar, so we'll do that one on the middle guy. This is our neutral corn dog in the middle, so let's go ahead and do that. Okay. Alright. Well, believe it or not, it only took us 2 hours, but that's good. we have here wiener with cheese inside, and I eat them with barbecue sauce. Tastes so good. This week I think I'm gonna try to record some videos. Yeah, definitely, man. Shoot them our way. Like, definitely hit me up on Twitter. I think we've seen each other on Twitter before. Shoot me a video, and then we'll try to see if we can like watch it together and all that stuff. I have 3 days vacation. Very cool. Gonna see how it works out. So yeah, definitely try to get like a little production set going on. Like, organize yourself. Make sure you feel comfortable with how you're presenting things, and you know, sky's the limit. As long as you feel good about it. It's all good. These guys are funny. Okay, try to get this. Well, that's more or less been it for me. I don't think I'm gonna necessarily take a bite out of it yet. I want to take a picture with it of it with the DSLR camera, which is what I'm using for this guy. But potatoes are delicious. But I'll tell you what. Let's try the potato. Even though he's dying in the background, you can try this guy out. I just want to get this mozzarella piece ready to go. Right? So this guy right here. Whoosh. Nope. There you go. Ah. Oh my god. That basil that I added into the potato mixture. Fuck. Oh shit, that's good. Okay. But yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna see how it works out. Problem is, I know too many languages and I don't know for which audience to make it. Lol. I was thinking of opening 3 channels with 3 languages, and I want to see which channel will go best. That's not a bad idea. You have to keep in mind that you'd be basically making 3 videos at once. So, assuming that you're not the only one editing, or if you are the only one editing, then that's three different time slots that you have to kind of save for the rendering and for the editing process. If you feel comfortable doing all 3 of them at once, I could see that happening. My other recommendation would be maybe Googling what languages are the most popular in the specific site that you're looking at, whether it be Twitch or YouTube. And if it's within that list, you can probably choose a couple of those and you know, make it happen with that. That'd be suggesting. I know it takes a second for things to kind of like kick in, so definitely don't feel unmotivated if you know especially if you're making 3 videos at once, and then you put in the effort, you stay up late at night, and you're like sleepy, and then it's not getting the clicks that you wanted to get. I would say please try not to get too unmotivated. It does take a second for things to kind of kick in with the algorithm and all that stuff. Twitter is the best way to go about, say, promoting it. I know at this point it's getting annoying on my end, or I feel like I'm getting annoying promoting myself on Twitter. But like I said earlier, honestly, the Twitter is specifically for the channel. So like at this point, it's what else am I gonna use it for, you know? But yeah, stuff like that. Have you tried Worcester sauce with mayo, mustard, and ketchup? Like all together, mixed together? Okay, I can see Worcestershire with mayo. I've seen that one before. I've tried that one before. That gets a pass. You know, you just have to get the right ratio with that. Mixed with ketchup and mustard, you have to work on that one. I'll have to look into that one. I could do a video on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Yes, all mixed together. It tastes really, really good. What region is that? Would you recommend? Because I'm thinking like European area / like Frenchy side. European-ish, more of a leaning towards French, or even like a Germany angle. That's kind of what I get from that. With the Worcester, they're really big on that over there. But cool. I think that's more or less gonna be it for me. I'm looking forward to the stream that you shoot on Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. Definitely keep yourself like paced within it, and give it time. You know, let it happen. Go about little by little. And who knows? Honestly, nobody really knows. I was born in Italy, but we moved to Germany. Ah, you got it. But I'm half Croatian and half Italian. Hey, that's really cool, man. I love Italian food, and I guess that's not like anything, right? But big mix. I respect that. Hey, man, it's good to be like a little bit everywhere, you know. That way you kind of have that open air of like acceptance and stuff. I think that's a good way. That's a good thing to have. Keep forward with that. Italy's cool though. I've always wanted to do either France or Italy, specifically French language, so I can get acquainted with the French and dive more into the culinary aspect of things. And then Italy, Rome, Italy has always been like god tier destination for me, like ever since Assassin's Creed, because come on, it's me, Assassin's Creed and Ezio in Rome, just oof. Italian is a very simple theory. I think that should be fine. I speak Spanish, so I have a little bit of Latin in my language. I think I can make that jump fairly easily, and then French, even French kind of takes me in the way to be like, oh, I kind of get what they're trying to express, because languages just work like that at a certain point. And yeah, like I said, learning French would be really cool, and Italian would be like a good plus, you know. I love languages. They're just fun to work with. I think, believe I keep on saying this in my streams. Nobody likes French in Europe. Woo! Well, I mean, looks like I gotta make some changes to these people, you know? Introduce them to the beauty of the croissant. C'est la vie. C'est la vie. But yeah, man, I'm looking forward to that. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and end the stream. I'm gonna take a couple of pictures. A couple of them will go up on Twitter. And please follow me on Instagram. I do have a culinary Instagram, which is where this kid is gonna go. And then I have a main Instagram where I will make like a partnership thing, and that should work out hopefully. But it's been fun, guys. Thank you for joining me. I hope to do more of these, but I need to organize a little bit, and then maybe work out a schedule. My schedules are like, I see you have 3 accounts for Instagram. Yes, it's kind of like the language thing, but one of them is culinary, one is my personal, and the other one's like the anime stuff. So I try to keep it separated, so that way it's like anyone who wants this can have this, anyone who wants this can have this. I tend to stream maybe once every other day. It's like the gym to me. Like I try to do one day yes, one day no, one day yes. But it really depends on how the week is going in terms of I have to work. I have a day job that I have to do aside from all this, and then going to school. I'm taking a class for college. That's my Thursday and Tuesday afternoons. That's kind of like absorbed, and then whatever weekend shenanigans I have to get done on the weekend, which is like laundry or like chores and all that. I have to keep myself organized throughout the week with that. But like I said, here's to hoping that things work out and then I can make it all organized, work better, have more free time to do streaming, and make it all work out. But only time will tell. Only time will tell. What do I work in? I'm doing construction. It pays the bills. That's all I can say about it. And it doesn't even pay him that well. it's a bummer out there because even if I were to look to other spots or for example, I have my pedigree in culinary arts. Even if I were to go to different restaurants and be like, all right, well, I want this much starting, a lot of people aren't willing to give that up right now because they're still recovering from all the COVID stuff. And even worse, like it's hard to find someone who's willing to I guess give you a shot is what I'm trying to say. But like I know my skill sets and I know what I've done in my life to get to that point, so I know what I am worth. But it's hard to convey that when all people see is this young guy who's trying to I don't know, like start basically. But what do I plan to do? I think a little bit of this. I think it'd be great to be able to have culinary as my main focus. I have pop-ups and ventures that I believe that I can make happen, but at this point it's more of a making it legally per se. Like there's so many stuff that you have to apply for and a couple of hoops that you have to jump through in California to like get licenses and be able to. What I want to do is basically do like pop-ups in terms of like taco stands is like a big thing that I can do, that have done, and would be able to make a thing out of. But for something like that, I'd have to really get the equipment all together, figure out like a traveling situation, like being able to load that all up in a van or a truck and get that to different locations. And yeah, dude, I have so many like ideas and plans that can happen. It's just a matter of time for me, and it's a matter of again making that free time to get it all working out. That's the biggest obstacle in my life, to be honest, is making time for things that I want to do and become, while there's so much things in the background that I have to take responsibility for and take care of. So it's kind of like this. But that's about it. Pop-ups. Pop-ups are a term for restaurants where you basically show up and you go like, hey, my pop-up is on this building, or my pop-up is straight up on the side of a street. And if you have like that notoriety, or like people know that you're good at, say for example, making tacos or making burgers like on the side, and then people will go check that out, or people will go follow you. And to me, that's the best way to do culinary, because at that point you're not paying for the lease, you're not throwing away your money to pay for basically another apartment. Basically all the money that you make in a pop-up will go directly to you if you're not paying for that lease. So that's kind of what I want to envision. Food trucks are cool, but they again, with the food truck you have to fill out so many applications and permits and stuff. You have to get all that done with the food truck, and that's I don't like that per se. I can't. If I'm a person that doesn't like posting my life on social media, imagine like signing up with the government to do certain things. It's like, but not necessarily food trucks. But if I had like a simple pickup truck, then I would be able to load up my own equipment, drive out to a specific area, unload, set up the station, and sell things for like 2 hours, 3 hours, sell some food, load it back up, and then go home. And I think that's what would be best for me. I would really love to do something like that. So yes, I guess technically a food truck, but not in the terms of like that food truck. Not that food truck. But that would be cool. Like that'd be like something in the future if I had like so much disposable income that I could hire someone to be like, hey, I'm gonna show you how it's done. Just handle it for me, and I'm gonna leave you to it. I'm gonna do other stuff. Like that's one of those things where an investment, you'd be able to invest in a separate with a revenue project, and that would be cool, dude. Once you're in a spot where you can start investing in different projects all at once, and you're getting multiple revenues coming back towards you, that's a really good place in life to be. So that's what I need. That's what I want. But enough about me and enough about this chit chatter. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for joining me. I will see you guys again soon. Stay tuned for the Twitter. It is exp66stitch is my Twitter. And again, all the Instagrams on my channel are linked. All the social medias are linked to my channel. So feel free to check them out and say hi. Be like, hey, what's up? I saw your corn dogs. That's not Korean, but they look good. So thank you guys for watching. And I'll see you guys again next time. Ja, mata ne.